I went to this event on Thursday. You were there, Mike.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Mike and I attended an event on Thursday. And while I was there, I don't know if I talked to you about this, Mike. I might have, but I had an epiphany about landscaping events. And I decided that my next goal this winter is to wedding crash a roofing event and just see what goes on there. Because landscaping events are typically some speakers get up and they talk about their passion for design and they talk about their passion for landscaping. And then everyone drinks some alcohol and eats some food and leaves. I want to, I've been to so many landscaping events. They all run sort of on the same scenario, right? You guys have been to them.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think happens at a roofing event? Like a bunch of roofers get together and they're hanging out in this hall and they're talking. If
Yeah,
you
the
do the
j
gr- if you do the gray shingles, it has a better design than the blue shingles, and you got to match the break. Like, what are roofers? What is the a speaker at a roofing event?
Are
I
there
want to.
different dialots in shingles?
First off,
Who
they're
knows?
saying,
I'd love to.
"Welcome back to your weekend in the pen. Thank you for all coming."
So it can't be held on a weekend.
Don't take the
No,
brown
that's where
oxide.
they do them in the pen on the weekends
Oh,
because
I
they all
see.
gotta be there.
All got to be there. That's where the roofing events take place. I just think it's a legitimate point, though. I want to go to a different trades event. Like, is there plumbing events? Is there like I want to go to an event where there's a bunch of sinks on display. Have a good look at them.
There must be.
I don't know. That's
We
why it's
can't
a
be
great
the only
idea.
trade who does this.
I. What did you think of the event, Mike? Rate it 1 through 10.
1 through 10. I thought last year's event, the food was much better.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the food was pretty. Well, I didn't eat any of
You
the
didn't
food.
eat any of it.
I did drink a Perrier.
You did, yeah.
Uh, what food did they have last year? I mean, they had lamb chops and
Yeah, they had that last year. I forget what they had last year. They had like some sort of spring
you
roll
just
concoction,
you
and
just know it was better.
it was, yeah, in my mind. And Kevin, who you met there, is was also in agreement with me that the food was better last year than it was this year. And
Really?
the food was in the middle, and they had like a complete circle of chefs around, which is really cool. And perhaps the speakers were maybe better last year too. That might have been a thing. Um, but other than that, pretty much the same.
I
What do you rate it?
I'm thankful I didn't eat the food now.
Why is that?
Well, you just said it wasn't as good as last year. I don't.
Oh, it was still
Well,
good though.
obviously you
I would
walked
say it was
away.
really good.
You walked away a bit disappointed,
No,
and I didn't have to face that disappointment in my life because I didn't eat the food. Uh, I
I
thought
offered you a bite of my wrap, but you declined.
carbohydrates, man.
Okay.
I'm my I've lost enough weight now that my necklace hangs different, and it's affecting the pattern of my chest hair. And that's concerning because
Does it
my
ever
necklace.
pinch your chest hair?
No, I
Uh,
don't know. I've been wearing this necklace too for like 25, 30 years. Uh, I'm not a new necklace wearer like Chad.
A new necklace wearer.
Just jumping on the trend, grabbing a necklace.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, uh,
I
what?
noticed that PK also is a proponent of the Irish goodbye.
What's that?
That's where you don't even say goodbye and you just leave. I looked around and PK
Yeah.
was gone, and he didn't even
I was
didn't
sneaking
even know
out.
he was gone.
Sneaking out. It was the end. They were drinking champagne. I don't drink alcohol, and I couldn't eat any of the food. And it was like 8 o'clock, and it was a long drive home.
Gotcha.
How long did it take you to get home?
Maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 10.
Hmm.
I was Velostering it too.
Were you?
There's nothing like showing up to a landscaping event in a Veloster.
By now, everyone knows it's you.
There's lots of parking.
Hmm.
I have to squeeze some huge pickup truck in. So I did drive that pickup truck for the whole day on Saturday to my parents' house and back to see if my life would improve. I can honestly say there was no improvement in my life at all. Do you think if I drove it for 72 hours, like how long would I have to drive it to see improvement? 72 hours? Like where is the improvement level of a luxury pickup truck? Like
I
does
think
it happen at the 48-hour mark? Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't give it 48 hours. I was kind of tired and bored of it at 24
But did
hours.
you go into it with the wrong mindset from the start?
Ooh, the mindset.
Ooh,
You need the
well,
mindset to
Chad,
go along with it. Nothing works if you don't have the right mindset.
Chad, that's a valid point. That
Were you
is,
just expecting to get into it and feel better? Or
yeah,
did you give it
I'm
an
gonna be
honest
honest, I
chance?
was. I was expecting it to just work magic and my life to just get infinitely better. And I was expecting on the drive between our yard and my parents' house in Belleville on a Saturday for at least 5 jobs to come in because I was driving that truck.
Hmm.
That's my impression when you listen to people talk about how great it is to have a pickup truck closing work. Um,
I have a
but
nice pickup truck and I'm not closing any work. I don't drive it because it closes work.
there's a lot of people who justify the existence of their fancy pickup truck because it closes work.
Maybe it does, but it hasn't this year for me.
I've never met, I personally have never had a client who said, I'm hiring you because of your fancy pickup truck, or I'm not hiring you because of your fancy pickup truck. Now, that could have happened subconsciously to them and they never said anything to me about it. So, to be fair, but, anyways, on the drive back from my parents, I closed no jobs with the fancy pickup truck. And sitting watching the Blue Jay game with my parents with the fancy pickup truck in the driveway, no jobs were closed. So, I don't know if I'd had the Veloster, maybe I would have closed some jobs, maybe I wouldn't have.
Hmm.
I don't know if the fancy pickup truck helped me at all.
Does it make you feel good to know that you can afford the fancy pickup truck without it affecting your life in any other way? You're not eating Franken beans because you have that pickup truck.
No, we actually have 3.
Yeah.
We have 2 Dodge Ram Laramies and an AT4 Chevy 2500. So, do I think?
Do you not feel proud of yourself for that?
No.
The fact that you can have these things and it doesn't make you sacrifice anywhere else in your life.
Uh,
Maybe you need to give yourself more credit.
Perhaps.
I
think
remember when I had no pickup truck. I had a piece of shit, rusted ass GMC Sierra, dents in the side, wouldn't start half the time. One day I'm going to have a nice truck. One day I'm going to have a nice truck. Then I got an equally piece of shit black Sierra that was diesel this time. I was so happy to get it home. By the time I got it home, the Bondo and the paint had fucking cracked on my drive from Toronto and it looked like shit. The dealer never told me it was a complete like redone box,
Oh,
like a piss poor job, right? He gave me $10 in gas to get home on this truck.
$10.
Oh yeah, he was a real piece of work. He's from Toronto. Anyway, um, uh, and again, it was the same thing. One day I'm going to have a nice truck. One day I'm going to have a nice truck. And then for years and years, I drove that garbage until I could afford something new. And now I'm more proud and happier to have nice things. Because I don't forget what it was like to drive those pieces of shit. Cloth seat trucks.
Cloth seat trucks.
No vented seats.
My favorite truck that we have is the 2015 Chevy, the brown one, with its cloth seats, and it's 430,000 kilometers. If someone said to me, "You can only keep one of them," that's the one I would keep because I love it. I wouldn't keep the other 3. I could care less about the cooled seats, and I like the brown truck because it was the first truck we had and was the only truck. It's been there. It's the only piece of day one stuff. It's a day one. It's day one, first hour, first minute, first thing I did, that truck was there. So if someone said you can only keep one, that would be the one I would keep.
It seems like your guys' discussion last week on luxury trucks sparked some interest because I saw other people posting about luxury trucks, but I also heard Andy Mulder talk about it on his podcast as well. Luxury trucks.
What
Well,
was
we
he?
weren't the first to do it. Caleb did
Caleb!
it first.
Yeah.
Caleb started
we
it.
hopped on that bandwagon.
That's why I named the podcast title the exact same name as his podcast title.
What was Andy's take on luxury pick? He has a very expensive pickup
Man.
truck.
I wish I could remember.
I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, ultimately he said it doesn't matter to him. Like it's not part of his identity at all or anything. And I did ask in the Instagram live, could he go back to non-luxury? No problem. And I believe he said, yeah, no problem.
I cannot. I couldn't.
If you had to, you would though, right?
Well, you do a lot of
Obvious.
things when your hand is forced, for sure.
Yeah.
But would I take other steps before doing that? Yeah. I'd probably sell the 2-ton excavator or something like that first.
I like that, Chad. You said even when you drive in the morning, you do your meetings while sitting in your
I sit
luxury
in the
pickup
truck and I have a semicircle of workers around me, especially when it gets colder out.
I like
I'm sitting
that.
in there and they're all shaking with their cigarettes and stuff. And I mean, this is what we're doing today. Good. You guys cold? Yeah. Well,
I
I have to
saw
have a smoke.
maybe a couple of years ago on Instagram, somebody started to post their morning meetings and them and their business partner were dressed in like, I don't know, Gucci or whatever, and they had like really nice sunglasses. And meanwhile, their workers are just dressed in work gear and they're talking about mindset and stuff. And I thought, man, I don't know about that.
That's a huge disconnect.
But
I
I don't
thought so
think I
too.
don't think I think there's 2 ways to be a business owner. One is to get on the grind with the people that, so there's many ways to be a business owner. I don't want to define it down to 2, but just in my mind, there's like I'm the kind of, I was talking to Cody last week about, because the white pickup truck that I was driving, I'm trying to keep it sort of off to the side as a truck that if I need a truck to go to a meeting or something, I'm going to use it for me, the white Dodge. And if it has to go to work, it has to go to work, but I try to keep it out of the rotation of pickup trucks. I think that the other 2 can do the job. So I was saying to Cody that when I used to get in the boss's truck, I would leave it cleaner than I found it. Always. I would clean all the cups out of it or like whatever, wipe down like I would make sure the seat went back to the exact same position. Steering wheel went back to the same position. If I moved the mirrors, I would get them back to as close as I could. Was very conscious that, that was the boss's truck and it needed to be treated with respect because that's the truck the boss drives. Whenever I get the white truck back, there's no garbage in it. Our guys are super clean. They don't leave any garbage in the trucks, mainly because they know I fucking hate it. But when I get it back, like on the Dodges, you can fuck with all the positions on the dashboards and shit. Everything is moved around on the dashboard. The fucking mirrors are different. There's often like mud and shit from someone grabbing the steering wheel in the truck. And I was talking to Cody about it, and I just said, like, whenever I get this thing back from even 1 day or 2 days, it's just everything's been moved, nothing. And I just wouldn't have done that when I was not the boss. I would never leave a truck in that way. And if it was the boss's truck. And I said, my problem is that because I work with the guys every day, there's no separation. They don't see me like that. They don't see me as the boss. They just see me as another worker that's there with them. That's why they're not conscious of the truck. And I'm just another guy who happens to be there who's just going to lose his house when everyone else isn't. And I think that's so there's that way to run your company where you're someone who's there every day. That's how I run our company. I'm at the yard. I'm not always first, particularly when the dawn is around, but I'm there on time every day. I'm with the guys. I go to the job sites with them. There's that way to run a company, and my hope is that people will see that I'm working hard, and they will work hard because they'll be like, "Hey, Mike's here every day, every Saturday, every Sunday. I do all the weekend work. If there's any weekend work, I try to involve them as little as possible in it." Um, I hope that they're inspired by that. But then there's guys wearing all Gucci, and all they're doing is hoping to inspire people if they work hard enough that they could get Gucci.
I don't think I have the type of workers that are inspired by Gucci.
But some people do.
Yeah.
If you had a whole shit ton of like 19-year-old, if you're a 25-year-old and most of the people who work for you are 18, 19, and they see you driving a Corvette, wearing Gucci, wearing a Rolex, they are like, oh, if I work really hard in the landscaping game, I could be like Chad with a fat Rolex.
Then they had to go off and start their own business.
Well, it's a fine line between, and if you're running that kind of business, you don't care when they do that because you just keep finding more people and cycling through them.
Or you go out of
Yeah.
business because you sold too many pools that you don't know how to do and had to commit fraud to be able to pay off and then you go to business.
That's could happen too. Absolutely.
I'm not in the business of trying to cycle through people. I don't think they're as disposable as maybe some people do.
I don't think that those people are necessarily doing it intentionally. I think they're just that way of leadership where you're talking about how much shit you have every day and trying to inspire people to get shit like you have. I think that has a limited. It's like the hockey coach who yells and screams has a shelf life of 2.5 seasons. I think that you just have a shelf life if that's the kind of business owner you are. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just, if your idea of leadership is to wear expensive clothes and buy expensive things and inspire your workers to work hard so they can buy expensive things, I think there's a limited shelf life till they, like Mike said, leave and do something else.
If there's a limited shelf life on that type of business owner, do you think it's better for that business owner to be almost completely hands off and
yes,
invisible and let somebody else be a general manager?
I think that
Who's
it's
more
not
relatable to the people that are laboring.
I don't think it's advantageous for that business owner to go shovel and rake. That business owner needs to inspire people by not shoveling and raking. And they're like, oh, if I work hard enough for this guy, I could get to the point where I don't shovel and rake. And you're right. Having one general manager who started off shoveling and raking and doesn't shovel and rake anymore could absolutely inspire people to be like, I could be the next general manager when we expand. And maybe that's just never been the style of motivation that I've had. I have always said, when times are really good, I will push everybody in front of me. When times are okay, I will stand in the middle of them and I will push the people that are being successful forward and help the people that are behind because I'm in the middle. And when times are really bad and things are super fucking shit, I will stand in front of all of them and protect them. And that's the theory of leadership I've had since I was 15 years old. And when times are really shit, I will stand in front of all my people and I will fucking defend them to the nines. Times have been super shit for 18 months, 2 years. That's my fault. It's not theirs. I didn't lead them properly. I made mistakes. And I hope that they stick around long enough that I can make up for the mistakes I made. But that's how I prefer to lead. There's a million ways and a million things on leadership. That's just, I feel like when times are good, shove them all forward and let them be successful and let them enjoy when times are good. And when times are average, stand in the middle and help the people behind and shove the people that are successful forward And when times are shitty, get in front of them and stick up for them and defend them and help them. I don't know. And maybe that's not a good way to do it. I don't know. It's not like I have been super successful or something. Like,
I don't know if I go down with the ship. I'd
Yeah.
start throwing them off before I lost everything. But by the same token, they would probably leave too if things weren't good. Right?
yeah, I'm not saying where things are eminently collapsing. I'm saying if if you're leading a crew and production doesn't go well that day, and the owner shows up and starts freaking out because production didn't go well that day, as the leader of that crew, you have two choices. You can blame the people on the crew, or you can stand in front of those people and stick up for them and say, well, the supplier was late, the bin didn't show up on time, or you can say, I didn't lead them well, and you can take the blame. Or you can throw them to the wolves. I've just
I
never
would
been,
never, yeah.
I've
I would
never
never
been
talk
that
poorly.
I've never been that person.
I wouldn't explain to a client or something that we failed because of the workers ever.
But would you say that I failed? Like would you say to a client, listen, I failed here. I didn't do a good
Yeah,
job.
I didn't set them up for success. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say I didn't set them up for success. I thought that maybe something was clear when it wasn't. I'll own up to it. I'll say it was my lack of leadership that caused something to go wrong, and we'll make good on it. We're not going to leave you with something that stays wrong by any means.
And if a client comes to you at the end of a job and says, you did an amazing job, what an amazing job you did, it was great, do you say to them, well, no, the guys did an amazing job?
Yeah, the guys that you saw here every day.
I didn't do anything here.
I didn't do much. I'm just a puppet master.
The one general contractor on site today, the carpenter guy, we had done some bins for him on another job of this client's. And he said to me, I said something and he said, are you the owner of the business? I said, yeah. But last year when you were dropping off the bins and I asked you a question, you said, I don't know. That's above my pay grade.
Look at me now.
And he said, but you're the owner of the business. I said, well, I don't really want anyone to know that. I don't care if anyone knows it or not. Makes no difference. Like me, don't like me. There have been times when I would pull it out of my hat and say, like, fuck you. It's my shit. But not generally. Generally, I'm happy if everyone's watching our crew work and everyone thinks that I'm just working with as just a worker, I'm fucking stoked about that. That's my goal. To seem like I'm just one of the people.
Everybody thinks I'm not the boss. They'll go up to everybody else in the crew before they come to me to ask me a question.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Is it because of the tattoos?
Yeah, probably. I fit right in with the guy. Well, I look lower than the guys on the crew. They're like, oh, I thought he was the boss. Sorry. Because you didn't see me pull up in my luxury truck. I'm not the boss.
Obviously, you didn't see the Dodge Ram Laramie Longhorn over there.
Yeah.
These
guys are driving XLs over here.
Let me show you the plush of the leather.
Yeah.
Let me just let you rub your hand on it and you'll know who the fucking boss is.
Yeah.
I had to get something out of the bin truck today. And I was looking in the bin truck and comparing it to Chad's. I was like, oh, I should make a video of this bin truck. And I don't know what the best option in the fucking 2009 bin truck is, Chad? It's not the money holder. You want to know what the best motherfucking option is?
What's the best option in there?
The goddamn ashtray.
Ashtray. You have an ashtray in that
I was
thing.
like, this ashtray is so sick. I use it all the time smoking cigars. And then if I've got to get out of the truck, I rest the minute and I get out and do what I got to do. And then my cigar's right there in the ashtray. Like, you can't get an ashtray anymore. You can get a gun safe but you can't get an ashtray.
That's right in your.
What is the option for ashtray? There is no. Maybe in China they're still making cars with ashtrays.
I don't
Remember
know.
they used to have cigarette lighters. Used to be real cigarette lighters, man.
The
You
round
push
ones.
them in, yeah, and they would
Push them
glow.
in. Yeah, I
Yeah.
burnt myself. I never knew what that was.
I did the same.
First time my parents left me alone in a car.
Yeah.
Pushed the thing in, came out. It wasn't red hot, so I didn't understand, but it was still fucking hot. I touched the thing, burnt the hell out of my finger. Learning lesson for a kid.
Yeah.
I remember lighting cigarettes with those babies. They were awesome. Like when you touched a cigarette to that, it was like an explosion of pleasure. It was so much better than an open flame. It just you could see it, and you're like, yeah, that's lit, baby. I guarantee probably neither of you ever lit a cigarette from one of those cigarette lighters, right?
I've never lit a cigarette in my life. So
Oh, okay. Have you ever smoked, Mike?
Yeah. But never with those lighters.
Probably those lighters probably didn't exist when you were smoking.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
I would love to get a car that had one of those lighters. Maybe that's my goal, Chad.
a car with a lighter? Well, that
Or to
would be
get a
your
truck,
first
to
gen
get
Dodge Ram.
Yeah, to get with that has an ashtray and a push-in lighter. Those were the ticket. I fucking love those. If
Now
I had
people
that,
just use them for their cell phone chargers.
Yeah.
if I had, and then they watch a fake fire on their phone.
While they light their vape.
No, they use them to light
fucking
their
vape, yeah.
no, they to charge their e-pen or whatever
Yeah.
those fucking things are.
Yeah.
Full circle. It's come back around.
You're right. They are using it to charge their goddamn e-pens.
Yeah.
I would love to have a truck with maybe that's my new. I don't usually have goals. Oh, I was thinking about that. I was like, why am I doing all this shit? why am I doing all this shit? Like, to your point, because I'm concerned about the money when we don't have any in the bank. That drives me nuts. But I'm not concerned about the money in terms of buying some stuff. I would like to go on vacation once a year.
I'm sending my family this year. I'm not even going.
Really?
My brother-in-law's wedding is in
Oh.
November, and I have to work.
Can't take a week off in November.
Don't think it's a good idea with
I
what
took
we
a-
have coming up in November.
I
Are you
took a
gonna go
week
to
off in
H&A?
November.
Yeah, I'll take a couple days off for HNA, but that's my vacation.
How's your
Or
brother?
maybe it depends how great of a season we have. But I'm also building a house. Like how much money really is there to throw away every year? Because I'm of the mindset that
the
whatever
mindset.
whatever
comes
money
up
you
again.
spend now, you lose even more in the future.
Yeah,
Right?
I
'Cause
agree
if
with
you're
that.
not saving it now,
Yeah.
when it's worth a little, then you're losing it when it's worth a lot because our friend compound interest.
Absolutely.
So I try and save as much as I can.
There's an argument that because they're devaluing the dollar constantly, that the money you're saving now is worth less. Every day you can buy less with every dollar that you earn.
But it depends what you use the money right now for. Whether you're putting it into appreciating assets, investing, or whatever.
Well, I was talking
fight.
straight.
Yeah, just talking straight cash for sure.
Saving, like Chad didn't say he was investing the money. He said he was
Right.
saving
Well,
the money.
I thought that was implied. That
Wow.
I figured the same.
Maybe
I
it's
don't
implied to
save
everybody
money
but
in
me.
a sock drawer or
Depends
something.
on your mindset.
Yeah,
Depends
on your mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset episode.
We did get if we're talking about H&A right now, I don't know if you guys have anything else
Sure.
here. We did get a message here from Jacob from Hartman Landscaping. Actually, this is along the lines of something that I'd made a note of to bring up in the future here, but his question is, can I share an Airbnb with Paver King at H&A?
Oh, sure.
Not bad, or the
Well, I was thinking, like, what if we opened up a mastermind of Airbnb and charged people?
H&A Oppression Summit.
Yeah, this is it. And we charge like $500. You get to stay in the Airbnb. $1,000, you get to stay in the same room as the Paver King.
Hold up, for
And-
$1,500, you can sleep in my Laramie Longhorn truck
Oh,
with the seats all the way back.
You won't even have that truck anymore.
No,
You're gonna
the King. You can sleep in the King Ranch. That's
if
two
you
grand.
if you roll in the Laramie Longhorn to drive me to H&A, I'm not fucking going. I ride in a King Ranch or I don't ride at all. If I'm
I
not
got
getting
this plug-in cigarette lighter for you.
if I am not if seats aren't massaging me the whole way to Kentucky, I am not interested in going. Did you get the massaging seats?
I think they come standard on that truck.
oh,
I could be wrong.
just the front two seats?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
come on,
know.
Mike. It's got to be all four.
Well,
If you're not
me and
massaging
you are
your
going to be in the
baby-
back. Chad has his paperwork and stuff in the front.
Oh,
in the front
seat. I think it's a good idea to we should get a 7-bedroom and then auction off the other 4 spots.
Yeah. Since all of our other money-making ventures have gone so well
Yeah.
for us.
We need to pay for H&A somehow.
Just I've just concluded I'm just gonna pay for it myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna write it off through the business. It's
It is a business.
definitely it is
It is
definitely a
a-
business
yeah.
expense.
Absolutely.
Isn't Grib gonna pay for you to go there?
I don't know if they're going.
Why wouldn't they go?
I don't know. I haven't
I
talked
see
to
them
my
all-
handlers.
I like that.
I haven't talked to my handlers. Honestly, they haven't reached out much, so I don't know. I'm just flying by the seat of my arse with this whole thing.
I like the handlers. Well, they also haven't given you anything yet.
Correct.
Uh,
So
All they've done is ask you to invest $10,000 in being.
no, they never asked me to. I, by my own accord, I've invested $10,000. Which, by the way, half of that bucket is the cat's ass.
It is pretty cool.
Like it
Yeah.
is wicked. Like seeing this
Yeah.
thing go. You're talking about your mental health. Get in this thing, and just screen soil for hours upon hours.
I'm gonna on Saturday if Paisley doesn't have soccer, I'm gonna come to Cornwall and screen soil and see if I
Yeah.
feel good about myself.
Yeah,
I'll drive the luxury pickup truck.
I would recommend it. Then you get a rush every time a rock hits the window, because whenever it's tilted back like that, whenever you're screening out from you, it'll kick rocks back at the window. There's some pretty big rocks that hit me there. I'm like, I wonder how much soil I have to screen to buy a new window after this one breaks.
So if you had the bucket on the other way, would it not kick? It would kick the rocks out the other way then.
Yeah, it would kick them away from you.
So really, that bucket's designed to be used the other way.
No, you just have to be mindful of it. Whenever, like, if I were to put the bucket on the other way, the way the connection is and everything, I'm screening so close to the shovel, I'm almost screening it into the track, right? By the time, or into the front, like right in the pile right in front of me. So by screening it outwards, I can stack it high and far.
Yeah. Are you going to buy a stacker?
No. I think for what it takes, it only takes 5 minutes to fill a tandem truck, so I can screen it as I go into the truck and keep a stockpile for the smaller trucks for the guys whenever they just have to come and pick up a bit of soil and everything.
Since we've been talking about screeners, I've been getting a bunch of ads. There's like skid steer attachments and all these other ones.
You can put Green Monster's getting one for his skid steer, I guess.
Oh yeah?
Mark, yeah. But I would definitely recommend this thing. And they're not even paying me. I love this little
You had to
screening
invest
bucket.
$30,000 to be a screening bucket influencer.
Yeah. No. I love the thing. I think it's just great.
That's cool. I when you were buying it, I was like, "Hey, to each his own." I don't know how good this is going to go for you, but when I saw it, I was like, "Man, this thing is pretty sick.
No, it works
It looks good."
incredibly well. And there's a couple stones in it and stuff, just small things, nothing you can't rake out or anything like that. But money well spent. You probably put in, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 of topsoil so far. The only thing I'm worried about is running out of soil. Then what do you do?
Well, you got to go to some neighborhood where they're stripping soil and get them to truck it in.
Yeah,
Like next time they're building a new neighborhood, they're going to stockpile the soil they need, and they're going to opt
But
so they don't.
everybody who does the stripping and the trucking makes their own topsoil. None left for me, a little landscaper trying to make some soil. I dig 10 by 12 patios at a time and get 3 yards. You know, like there's a ceiling for me. Unless I turn into an excavation contractor.
Well, then you got to start looking at jobs where you can like offload the soil, knowing that you can bring it to your yard and screen it and make money.
Yeah.
Then you have a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Jack was telling me today that the most vertically integrated company in the world, and there's no possible way for it to vertically integrate more, is the Zipper company.
Is that a joke?
No. They're so vertically integrated, according to Jack, that they actually own the forests where they cut down the trees to make the boxes that they put the zippers in.
Wow.
And then there's only one company in the world that makes zippers, because no matter where you are in the world, you cannot make zippers profitably because they are so vertically integrated. So
Wow.
Jack told me it, so I believe it because it's from Jack.
You know, Jack told me something today. He said it's the anniversary of the Killdozer rampage.
He said that to me too.
What was that?
He's just rehashing facts.
No,
All
he,
day.
Backs on everybody.
he did tell me it was the anniversary because I texted him back and said I could go kill Dozer today.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I said I could feel that. Today feels like the day.
I'm gonna go kill Excavator, and I'm gonna have my screening bucket on and fucking scoop people up.
Oh, imagine running him through the bucket in reverse.
Unhealthy way for
Those stars that chew you up.
that's it.
Wow, I've never heard of this.
You've never heard of the
You've never heard of
Killdozer?
the Killdozer?
Never.
Watch the documentary.
Oh, there's a documentary on
there's a
Netflix.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, about how he built it, where it came from. It's
Yeah.
it's a intense story.
And
It's
is this on Netflix or
That's
It
a
is-
stone's throw from a contractor's way
He
of
was-
life.
I think he was a contractor.
Yeah, or he got fucked by a contractor or something like that.
Oh, basically, he got fucked by the HOA, which is
I could see that,
which was the
which-
town. Like it wasn't actually an HOA, but the whole story is based around how the whole town fucked him and fucked him developing his land and something.
Yeah.
But it was basically he got HOA'd until he went crazy.
Yeah.
and how long ago was this?
19 years
Wow.
today.
To
He
the
went on the
day.
rampage. And if he hadn't gone in that basement, he'd still be rampaging now. He had a few
Wow.
problems. Sight was a problem. And the dozer overheated because of the extra weight. But he did go on a crazy rampage. I like that Jack told you about that too.
Yeah. It was our segue into my commercial bid that he walked me through. Okay. If I were to tell you guys that I had 7.5 man hours at $75, 7.5 man hours at $65, a mini track loader at $35 an hour, and one dump truck fee for a total of just under $1,400, would you think that's acceptable for what I did today, power raking?
It's a lot cheaper than I would have charged.
Yeah.
Is it too acceptable? Because I got to
Ah.
put the screws to him a little bit. He did fuck me.
Did you prep it for sod basically?
Yep.
'Cause that's what you did. Basically, he had you there under the false pretense of hydro seeding because someone needed to prep the job for sod.
Yeah,
Do you
pretty
think
much.
do you
Yeah.
think he knew going in he had no intention of having you hydro seed that property? And he was just all he was doing was trying to get someone to
No.
prep it for sod.
I don't think so.
If he had asked you
But
to
it
come
is
in-
convenient that I'm the only one in the city with this fucking attachment that can do it. Like, they were gonna whippersnip the weeds.
that doesn't help.
I know.
They just grow back.
Yeah.
That's
They were gonna
ba-
whippersnip the weeds and then have me hydroseed.
that wouldn't have worked.
I know. I went out of my way to do a favor, which we all know how that works for us. And here it bit me in the ass.
How many hours were the guys in?
7.5. Should I just bill day rate?
What's your day rate?
I don't know, $2,000.
I would build the day rate.
Yeah. Can you lean a house for for a sod job or for a power raking job?
Well, you can lien a house for anything if the guy doesn't pay you. You can invoice him $20,000 and say that it was an agreement. Do you have an agreement past verbal of what the power raking was worth?
Oh, I got. When are you coming? When are you coming? Text message. When are you coming? I want to see this date. Nah, 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 nah. The whole thing.
This really burns your ass, eh?
It burns my arse. Like less than 24 hours
Yeah.
before the job is scheduled to happen. Yeah,
You're fired up.
fired up. It, the little shit like this gets me more than the big stuff does. And the guys always tease me about it. They're like, big stuff, no problem. The little things, you fly off the handle. I said, yeah,
I get that though.
yeah. It's the little things that do it. The big things I can stomach. It's the little things that drive me wild.
We laid all the pavers at the Canoe Museum today, so that's done. Well,
Oh.
we didn't. Matt from Apex and Tyler from Allscapes guys laid them all, but they're
For
done.
the driveway or the
Yeah, driveway. It's all finished.
oh
So that's a nice, I guess that's a nice feather in your cap. 10,000 square foot driveway in front of a legacy building. Galen Weston built it. He built it with the bread money from the bread pricing scam.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
It says right on the side of the building, the Weston family. It says the Galen Weston family or whatever. It's like,
Oh.
yeah, all from the bread collusion pricing. At least they put it towards something good. It's a beautiful building. And when it's finished, it has a 4.7 star rating. We got asked to price another job in Pickering, and Jack and I looked up the ratings of this job. It's a condo development, and everyone is 1 star. This place is fucked. These people don't know what they're doing. I'm living in a construction site. I have no air conditioning. I have no heat. I have no water.
What?
All of this leads me to believe that we shouldn't work there because probably if you talk to the contractors giving ratings, it would say never got paid. The only reason that water doesn't work in a building is because there's no one to call to fix it because you never paid them for putting it in.
Wow.
I think there's going to be lots of projects like that though,
Mm.
where people are getting called in to, and someone went there and sodded it all, but never did the gardens.
Nice.
That's another. I feel like that's another red flag. I feel like this is a put the money in escrow with your lawyer, and then when the landscape architect approves it, then you pay us kind of job. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I've been wrong before though.
I've got a couple more things from Jacob from Hartman Landscaping here, who talked about Airbnb at H&A.
Staying with me. Why doesn't want to stay with you guys?
No, it's a different topic here. He messaged you about a couple things here. So I'm gonna put a word in the chat. I want you guys to pronounce this word.
Decal.
Deco.
Yeah, so he says, as a resident of Freedom Land, I need to point out that Chad is saying decal wrong. It's decal, not decal.
Well, I've been wrong before, so doesn't hurt my feelings to be wrong again.
If I was going to be wrong about something, I'm okay with that.
That
If
is
you're not
true.
wrong, you're right.
PK did pronounce it correctly. On a separate note, I got my first phone call from an obnoxious diamond blade sales guy. Does that make me a real hardscaper now? So I guess this question is, once
Maybe
you start
more.
getting those diamond blade sales, does that officially make you a hardscaper?
I think if you're not getting Diamond Blades sales calls, then you're not a hardscaper. I could agree with that.
I'm not getting those calls anymore.
I haven't got one in a while.
I haven't got one either. Maybe it's because we rejected their sponsorship.
Yeah.
All you have to do to get off the Diamond Blade sales list is start a podcast and then reject the sponsorship, and then they'll stop calling you. If I knew that, I would have started a fucking podcast 10 years ago. Do you know
But it,
how much time, how much earnings I've lost in answering phone calls to say I don't want any Diamond Blades?
to our credit, we did reject them before it was cool.
We did.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
were the first to reject them, I think.
Potentially, we were the
Before
first.
it was cool.
Before it was cool to take the term.
We never accepted a dime.
Yeah, because that's just who we are as people.
The sponsors are lining up out the door, but we are sticking to our guns. We are.
Accepting nothing.
But if you want to sponsor, please contact us.
Oh,
We're desperate.
some
Contact.
company reached out to me today. They're gonna send me a bunch of safety shit.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm not too proud to wear it.
I never get these sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
Do you think that you are better behaved on Instagram than I am?
No, I swear all the time.
Okay, but I just meant in general better behavior. Like, I think it's because you don't post food reviews, and
No.
I think you're
Uh,
just better. You're definitely better looking than me, so I think that has a definite positive effect of sponsorship.
Are
Thanks,
they reaching
PK.
out through NLD or the Landscape Daddy?
Landscape Daddy. My
Wow.
NDL is
Sorry, NDL.
quiet. Fine, doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't post a lot on NDL anymore.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking like the NDL has much more of a presence.
Yeah, it's got more of a presence, but that's an old presence, right? That's since the beginning days of
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm much more active on Landscape Daddy because it's a little more raw.
People enjoy it a little more raw.
A little more raw, yeah.
So, what kind of safety gear is it?
I don't know. They haven't sent it yet. It's high vis stuff. No big expectations, just for you to use if you like it. Sure. I did
Nice.
that with so I sold my heart stuff
That's awesome.
on
Did you?
Facebook Marketplace, and the guy came from like an hour away to pick up this like pole saw or whatever, right? And I told him like, "Okay, I'll be home at 5:30." Pull in the driveway at like 5:20, and he's waiting there for me.
Wow.
And, like burns my arse, and he's like looking through my window and shit like that. I'm just like not having a good experience with this guy, right? I get out of the car, don't even say hi. First thing I say is, "I told you 5:30." And he's like, "Oh," and he mumbles something in French or whatever, right? Go in the garage, get the pole saw, get the fucking batteries. Here you go. And it was like $50 or something like that, right? And he's like 45. I said, "No, I told you 50." He goes, "I only have 220s." I said, "Well, too bad." Then he reaches in his pocket and gets $10 in change. I said, "There you go." So he takes off, goes home, messages me that night. He goes, "The battery doesn't work." He's like, "It won't charge." I'm like, great. Here we go. So
How far did he come to get the saw?
like an hour away, somewhere in Quebec.
How much is it to buy this saw in
Right.
Walmart?
I don't know. I have no clue.
I bet it's not more than $50.
I never looked into it. But then I'm like, hey, I got one more battery at home, but it's for the hard blower that my wife loves to use. So now in order to salvage this $50 that I took from the guy, I got to give him the only working battery in this fucking kit. for the blower that my wife likes. So I'm like, that wasn't a really good business deal for me. Then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just buy her a DeWalt battery blower. But they're like $500. I'm like, I got a shit deal here.
You got fucked.
Yeah. So,
Heart Tools strikes again.
see, in order to be sponsored, you got to spend money.
That's true.
I'm the worst at being sponsored. My goodness.
I don't know. These people contact. Well, I guess the glasses people sent me some glasses.
Yeah.
I never been sent anything.
I figure you'd get the most.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
You have the most presents.
But not on I'm a hardscaper.
What's the presence like on that one?
I don't know. I don't post anything except DIY videos.
So I have this video of me chaining down some equipment from 10 years ago that has 1.9 million views.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about this last week?
You mentioned the video that
Yeah.
went viral.
So it keeps people, like when I open up my Instagram, there'll be like 200 likes. What are people liking? But it doesn't really show you anymore. But I think it's just the same video over and over again. Like
Mm.
people just keep liking it. Like I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
My favorite thing about that video is that video is from like 10 years ago, and I tagged 3 people in that video that still stand around watching me chain stuff down.
Have you noticed uptick in followers from that?
No,
Really?
no, not at all.
Wow.
I get very few followers like no one really follows my account. And from all the YouTube watching videos I've been watching is because the account is not consistent. If your account is not consistent in the content that you produce, you will not grow a lot. And I definitely do not have consistent content on that account.
Hmm.
That's on the YouTube account that I'm attempting to grow. And I've actually started watching videos on how to grow your YouTube account. And I've been taking deep dives into the analytics and how far people watch the videos and when people drop off. And it's actually pretty interesting. I've liked fucking with it. I think this morning I'm up to 345 followers.
Holy.
So I've added about 200 or subscribers. I've added like 200 subscribers in I guess it's like I've been doing it well. We're up to episode 38. Episode 38 will be launching today of Favor King Out and About. So I guess that's 38. I've tried to put one video up every day. The shorts do better. You know what I like about YouTube so if you post something on Instagram and it doesn't immediately get a ton of views, it's gone in 24 hours.
Yes.
Like almost anything you post is 24 hours. It's like a 24 hours news cycle on Fox News or CNN or whatever party affiliation you happen to be. But on YouTube, I post these shorts and nothing happens with them for 48 hours. And then I'll open it up and there'll be 10,000 views.
Yeah.
It's like, because the algorithm is looking at the click through rate and it's looking at the percentage viewed.
Well, especially for long form, it's got a much longer lifespan than anything else. That's
Yeah.
why I just doubled down on YouTube, because for one, I'm not a short form creator in any sense. I'm not good at it, I don't think. And the long form is what I like, and it's all my views come from older videos still to this day.
So I think that I feel like the long form videos for the amount of subscribers on the channel are performing decent. I feel like they're performing pretty well.
Something went out, BK.
Well, the light burned out, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. That was weird as fuck. I'm sure it's one of those bulbs that fucking, yeah. Well, whatever. Maybe that should be the end of the podcast. I don't know. Should that be the end of the podcast? My light going out? Anyways, I
People
feel
won't
like
know your light went out until the winter.
uh,
So
when this makes it to YouTube. So I think that for 346 subscribers, the long form videos after being out for, let's say, an average of 6 days or 7 days, all have close to 100 or more views. But for having 346, I feel like that's pretty good. It's definitely the long form videos are definitely harder to grow than the shorts.
yeah. But if you double down on shorts, you'll get a shorts watching audience. I find it's two very different audiences. People who watch
Yes.
shorts are not watching long form for the most part, unless
Yes.
it's educational content.
So I put up a video of the cat motor running on shorts, and then I found that if you ask a question and it's pinned to your short, you'll get way more views. So I put up a video of the cat motor and it says, "What motor is this?" And now I put it up for 48 hours. It got almost no views. And now it has 6.8 thousand when I opened it.
Wow.
But it's all, someone must have watched it and then commented on it. And it has like a huge, like, I have the one video went up to 10,000 views. Where is it? Oh. So I posted this video of Bill going up and down on the lift in the parking garage. And I just said, "Would you hire this man?" And 7.8 thousand people have watched it. And 14 of them disliked Bill so much from the video, they commented derogatory things about how they wouldn't hire him. And I thought, how much do you dislike this guy that you wouldn't hire him based off this video? It's just a video of him going up and down on a lift, and you dislike him that much that you like. I posted one that says, "Is this excavator too big for this truck?" That got 6.6. Should we have used a wide load banner on this rock truck? 5 point. Like, you know what the difference is with the YouTube channel? I'm on Instagram. I post things that I like, and that's why it's not successful, because it's just for me and personal jokes. Like, I made a whole video and posted it of DIYing rock trucks because that's a personal joke that really only was between me and Mike. No one else would, unless you listen to the podcast, you wouldn't get it. But on the YouTube channel, I'm just trying to post things that I think people would be interested in that I'm not necessarily interested in or think are funny. So I think it's more successful doing that. But anyways, I do like YouTube. I like all the analytics of it now. I spend a lot of time checking it out. So I want to try and make it to 1,000 subscribers.
Chad, I haven't seen a video from you in a while.
Yeah, it's
How's that low hanging fruit?
again. I told you I was wrong about that.
I know, but I like bringing it up.
I misspoke about it, but I'm trying to salvage my business
Gotcha.
and get
Doesn't
some
it
work
suck
in
when
here.
that gets in the way of your social media?
Yeah,
Last week,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I haven't posted anything really this week. It's like, oh, because I've been trying to save my business. I had exactly the same fucking thought.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
social media sucks when you have to focus on not going bankrupt.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
All right, this is the end of the podcast because I got to have dinner and go to bed. I'm so fucking tired of not sleeping last night. And I don't want to destroy any more curbs tomorrow.